Hey, shalom, shalom, mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of the Haftarah Hashings. Today I'm going to tackle two at once again, and the first Torah portion is number 34, called Bar Midbar, which means numbers. It's the very first Torah portion in the book of Numbers, and the Haftarah portion is from Hosea, chapter 1, verses 10, all the way to chapter 22, or chapter 2, verse 22. Now, let me go ahead and say this. Haftarah portion number 35, I'm including it in this Haftarah portion only just to say that it's called Naso, which means make an account, and it's taken from the book of Judges, chapter 13, verses 2 through 25. Now, the second Haftarah portion deals almost exclusively with what we know as the Nazirite vow. I don't like to reinvent the wheel or to rehash things. I already have a YouTube video called the Nazirite vow, and if you want to learn more about that and what all that entails, it directly applies to this Haftarah portion. So please go and view that video. So back to Torah portion 34. It's kind of intricate, so as not to be stuttering all the time and kind of get off track, I'm going to read what I have written in my commentary. It says, our Torah portion is from the book of Numbers, and is about numbers, and our Haftarah portion deals with numbers. Numbers in regards to the population of Israel. God uses Hosea as a living prophetic object lesson for all Israel. Hosea was told to marry a prostitute, a ritual prostitute, that is, and have children by her, and continue to fight to get her back when she is unfaithful, to symbolize the unfaithfulness of Israel to God. The first son of Hosea was named Jezreel. The name Jezreel has a double meaning. First, as the verse states, it refers to the valley in which Jeroboam's ancestor Jehu spilled considerable blood. And see 2 Kings chapter 10 for that. Although Jehu's killing marked the fulfillment of Elijah's prophecy against the house of Ahab and the destruction of Baal worship, his motivation was not inspired by a desire to fulfill God's will. Rather, it was to intensify calf worship. See 2 Kings 10, verse 5. At Bethel and at Dan. Second, the name Jezreel means seeded by God, and is a reference to the exile, which Israel will be strewn like sown seed amongst the hostile nations. And this is according to the Art Scrolls commentary in the Tanakh. The next child is the daughter called Lo Rumah, meaning not pitied. And on account of the stiff-necked rebellion and departure from Torah, Israel is divorced by God, but remarried once Messiah Yeshua is resurrected. But Judah has promised to remain married to God because of the promise God made to David, although Judah was just as adulterous as Israel. So in other words, you have the two kingdoms, the northern and the southern kingdom, the house of Israel and the house of Judah. The house of Judah remained married. She was not divorced by God because of the promise God made with David, and to always have that dynasty and a man on the throne, and to be intimate with Judah, even though Judah was just as adulterous and sinful as Israel. Israel, the 10 tribes, the house of Ephraim, house of Israel, was divorced by God. And this creates a conundrum because, according to the Torah, once a man divorces a woman and that woman goes off and marries another man or has relations with another man, he can't no longer marry her. So does that mean that Israel is no longer part of God's chosen people and is divorced and forever banished? And maybe the church has replaced it? No, wrong answer. When Messiah Yeshua died on the execution stake on the cross and resurrected from the dead, he became a new man. He was in essence the same Messiah, but he had a new body. He was newly resurrected, therefore symbolizing a new man, but yet being the same, and was able through the resurrection to renew that marriage contract, that ketuvah, that covenant with the house of Israel, and therefore bringing Gentiles and Ephraim back. Now, a lot of the lost 10 tribes was taken off into Assyrian captivity, and through the years assimilated into the cultures and peoples around them, and therefore in essence though they were Hebrews and didn't know it. They've become utterly Gentile because they've utterly assimilated into the peoples around them. And so therefore, sometimes when the Brit Chadashah refers to Gentiles, it's actually referring to the lost 10 tribes of Israel, the house of Israel, the house of Ephraim. And so let's move on. Then Lo Ami was born, meaning not my people, again referring to Israel. This also sounds grim, but hope shines through it. In chapter 1, verse 10, and in there's the book of Hosea is the chapter and verses are a little bit different in Christian renderings and in Hebrew renderings, and so it might actually be chapter 2, verse 1 in some Bibles. That one day Israel will be as numerous as the sands of the sea, continuing to his promise to Abraham. One day, Lo Ami, not my people, will be called Kin Ami, yes, my people. After their chastisement, God will, as Hosea did with Gomer, coax Israel back to himself. And this is also where the theme of Numbers comes in. So that is the Haftarah portions for the next couple weeks. Hope you enjoy them and hope you get a lot more out of them than I could ever divulge in these short 5 to 10 minute segments. So God bless, Shalom, and Shavuot Tov.